Hi, my name is Chirama, and I know you clicked this episode today to find out why your body is reacting the way it is, why you grieve for a loved one. This is not out of place. Usually, grief also comes with physical ailments or pain or stress. Now, a lot of people think that grief is just about the mind and the heart. That's where it ends. No, grief also manifests physically in our body. Now, you might see that you get struggle to sleep, or you begin to develop digestive issues, or you begin to have immune system issues. You easily catch cold or flu, whatever it is that is going around. And most times you can also feel it in headaches, body pains, and chest pains and stuff like that. So today, I, your host Chiranwa, for the Money Magnet podcast, we're talking about the physical cost of unprocessed grief and where it manifests in the body and what to do about it. This is much more useful for people who lost their parents when they are below 21 years, because at this time of your life, you are still bonded to your parent or loved one or caregiver who you just lost, or love, or whoever it is that is so close to you. And this is because there's a lot of brain and emotional attachment that goes between guardian and child before the age of 21. So it's going to take a toll on your body physically more than people that are older than 21 years old. So don't worry, we're going to talk about how to handle this in today's episode. Now, the body reacts to grief in a very funny way, and it comes in ways like shock, especially when it comes with traumatized experiences. Maybe you experience your loved one go through seizures or things like that can be traumatizing, where the person is helpless and you can't even help the person before the person died, and or before the person passed to the other realm. And the body begins to show fear. The body begins to feel threatened, because you're still trying to process what's going on, how could this be, and as a result your body begins to develop cortisol, a lot of hormones and reactions in the body to help you like fight the threat that it is assuming is going on, because that's what the mind will interpret the trauma or the grief as. The mind is quick to give interpretation to things that is happening within the body. Okay, the mind and body work together very well. So trust me, when you're going through grief, you will also feel it in most part of the body, because the body is going to react in a way to protect itself. But if it goes on for too long, it begins to become a problem. That is where diseases start to manifest. So, like I said, the body treats this process like a threat to it. So it begins to produce hormones and activities in the body like adrenaline and cortisol that will help to cushion you at that moment. But the problem comes when it goes on for a long time, because usually grief takes a long time to process. So if this keeps going on, the body keeps malfunctioning. At some point, the body has to relax and go off that threat mode. Okay, how do we help our body relax when we start noticing symptoms? Because you definitely notice in so many systems, like most systems in fact in the body suffer during grief. Your cardiovascular system, your immune system, your digestive system, it may be one or all in fact. So do not fret, there's always a way out. Once you know that this is what I'm going through right now, you will definitely figure out the solution. The solution is already at hand. Okay, so the first thing first is to actually understand that, okay, what I'm going through might be as a result of grief. Maybe my body is breaking down often because of grief. I have to figure out a way to get out of this and put my body in a healthy state. The first thing you want to know is, okay, what are the symptoms that I may be experiencing? It could be weakened immune system, like I said. You could easily be catching cold, flu, whatever is going around. You just find yourself that, oh, every month you're treating cold or flu or whatever it is that is really passing around in the environment at that time. So you'll be like, perhaps I have a weakened immune system. It could also be your digestive system. You may not be able to eat properly sometimes. You may not, or you may overeat as well, just to give yourself comfort. Like in the middle of the night, you can get up and say, I want to eat. Things like that can happen, and a lot of burden on the body to process all those extra food and things can lead to breakdown in so many ways in the digestive system. Also, we have a broken heart syndrome, on heart disease. So broken heart syndrome is not a poetic title. It actually is real. Medically, it's been identified to be real, that people can actually hurt their hearts when they are grieving or traumatized. Okay, so and we don't want it to get to that. Things you might be noticing might be the heart palpitations. You might be noticing that you get scared easily now. You might be noticing a lot of activities are strenuous to you now. High blood pressure, that one is very common. I experienced it, so I know. So things like that, can cause you to worry, especially when it's prolonged for over months, especially if you've done the burial, you're done laying the person to rest, and for like 3, 4, 5 months you're still in that process of trying to get your body back. Do well to check if any of the symptoms resonates with you, so you can know how to move forward. So you can also have shortness of breath. So those are part of the hearts or broken heart syndromes. Don't worry, everything will be fine, okay? But just take note of this symptoms so you know how to help yourself. At least you say, oh, okay, has this been happening to me before? No. Okay, is it as a result of grief? When can I trace back the last time I experienced this, or what triggered this, or how long ago has this been going on? If it's more than 3 months, you have to find a solution to that. Okay, we also have sleep disturbances. This is really typically normal for most people that grieve. They find it difficult to sleep at night. You might want to have friends over to help you with that, and also take things like tea. We'll get there. We'll get to the help, but it's good to have friends over when you're grieving, loved ones around you. It also helps with the sleep thing, but we'll get to the solution. But right now, what you have to know is sleep is one of the biggest thing that gets affected. Your schedule, your routine may change due to grief. Then you also have things like fatigue, headaches, general body pains all around. You just don't know where this is coming from, but you keep feeling this way. Some of them could be because you're actually feeling the pressure of all the activities for burial preparations and things like that. That could cause it. But what about after the burial? Months after, what happens? Why am I still feeling this pain? Why am I still having headaches? So another thing could be that your sleep change can also result to headaches as well, because your body might not be getting enough sleep or rest due to your sleep change schedule. Your schedules change, so it can also cause headaches, fatigue as well. So this is a time to give yourself as much rest as possible. Try to find time to rest properly, sleep properly, to help prevent things like this, so you don't get exhausted internally and your strength doesn't weaken, because at some point you might even start to feel like your muscle is tensed, your body is tensed, everything is not going your way, and you get up to move, you can't move, things like that, body pains here and there, your knee wants to buckle, so many. I'm telling you, I experienced so many things too, or I might still be experiencing some of them too. But The truth of the matter is we'll get there. Grief is something that takes time, but we'll get to that point where it's no longer acute. So when I say you get there, I'm not saying you're going to forget the person. No, I'm saying the acute grief will begin to subsidize to the point that it's bearable. For me right now, I'm still trying to get off the acute stage, or I'm almost out of that, because the acute stage is compresses a lot of things in your body. Like you can feel it so much in your body and even in your heart. I usually feel like I'm torn apart. One side of me wants to go on living, one side of me doesn't want to go on living. So, but then you remember, what is now the sacrifice of this person, this loved one that died? If I choose not to go on living, then the sacrifice or whatever efforts they've made towards me is wasted. So I try to make sure that the side of me that wants to keep on living is greater than the side of me that doesn't want to, for the purpose of making sure that their sacrifice for me was worth it, or is worth it. Okay. Another part of the body that really suffers during grief, may not happen to you, may happen to you, is the digestive system. You try to see, some people would lose appetite. That's the first thing some people do experience. Some people may not even know what they're eating. They keep eating junk, eating everything just come for themselves, and then they get to develop IBS, what they call irritable bowel syndrome. Sometimes some people get bloated, so bloated that it's so obvious that something is going on here. And some people get constipated. Almost every time they show up for event, they look around for where to use the loo, but they can't because they're constipated. Really, a lot of stomach discomfort and irregulations can crop up just because of grief. So you have to know your body first. You have to be self-aware first to know, is this what my body used to do before, or is this because of grief? So if you're able to identify that this is because of grief, don't worry. We'll get to that stage where all this will be subsidized. The body will naturally find a way to heal itself. Now, for me, there's this analogy I got online, and I think I can use it here. I see the acute grief to be like stage. That's the acute grief stage. I see it to be like a box where there's a circle going on, and by the side of the box like this, there's like a press button. So there's a ball or a circle in the box. So at that acute stage, the box is so close to the ball or circle, and it keeps pressing that button of grief, keeps pressing the red button of grief, ding 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 ding, and your body starts to react, even your mental health, your physical health, everything around you. But with time, this box begins to expand, gets bigger and bigger, and the ball inside doesn't hit this grief button as often as it should. Okay, maybe when it was this close, it was almost every day, every night, every second. Now time is what expands this box for us. So the more time passes, we kind of give way for healing. The box keeps getting bigger this way, and the ball doesn't hit this panic button or grief button as often as it should. Also, what really helps this box expand besides time is our ability to have the courage to move forward. Now, you have to develop that courage for the person, right? I said that before. You need to consider all the efforts the person, all the love the person poured into you, and everything the person did for you. You have to choose that to move forward. So when you're courageous enough to accept that I'm going to move forward, I'm going to live a better life for this person, like in honor of this person, then this box begins to get bigger, and the ball also doesn't get to hit the grief button as often as it should. Another thing that could really help is knowing that this person is still alive. We're all energy, right? So energy is neither destroyed nor created. We just recycle back to another state. So you just know this person is alive somewhere else, okay? You just put it at the back of your mind. That will really help this box to expand more and make the healing process move from acute grief to the less subsidized form of grief. Like you just remember the person and like, oh yeah, this happened, and you move gradually to peace, acceptance, and understanding that this person is definitely somewhere for you out there. You might not see this person with your physical eyes, but trust me, they've come up in so many ways to share messages with us via dreams, signs, whatever it is you believe in. Our loved ones, they still exist in another plane, in another realm, okay? So that knowledge should help expand this box bigger in such a way that the ball doesn't hit the grief button often. You don't get broken down as often as you should have if you didn't have this belief system or this understanding in you. So there are 3 things I mentioned. Time helps expand this box. Your belief system that this person is somewhere else, somewhere you might not be seeing but still alive somewhere, okay, will help you expand this box a little bit for you. And also living a life to honor them also begins to expand this box, because when you're doing that, you find little joys in doing things that pleases you, things that helps you. So now, how do we help ourselves? How do we help our body heal from all these grief issues or complications? Yeah, one good way, like I said, is make sure you have your friends and loved ones around you. If you can, as much as possible, accept their love at that time. You can have a close friend stay with you, and try to eat healthy as much as you can. Just allow your friend to take care of you in that regard. But for those of us that don't really have anyone close to us, make a mental note that I'm gonna get over this with time. This is no, like, there is no turning back the hands of time at this time, because you've already laid the person to rest, right? So why would you want to choose to spend the rest of your life living a depressed life when you could live a happier life? So for me, feelings are like choices. So the third thing you can do is also ask yourself, what is it that I'm not doing for myself? Am I treating myself right? If I have a friend that is grieving, is this how I would treat my friend? If the answer is no, you can go back, listen to all the previous episodes I've done on grief, and help yourself out. You can really be compassionate to yourself and say, if this person were here today, would this person want me to be in this state? Definitely the answer will be no. Then if you check and you see that you're giving yourself grace and compassion, then you're on the right track, you're doing well. I hope also this episode will help you get on the right track fast, so you can live a happier life despite being in grief. The fourth thing you can do is also schedule self-care for yourself, because that's the biggest thing you're gonna want to do for yourself. A lot of people who experience grief, the first thing they do is they lose their sense of self. They don't care for themselves anymore, because to them, what's the point of living? Trust me, that's not what your loved one wants, okay? So schedule time, take time out to give yourself love. It could be to take yourself out to eat, it could be to take yourself out for swimming, it could be to go have fun just once a week or twice a week, whatever it is for you. Schedule out time to intentionally have fun and honor your loved one, so you know that you're gonna feel healthier and better and leave this acute grief stage earlier. Remember, your body is speaking and you've got to listen. I hope this episode helped you out. Remember to tune in for the next episode on grief, which is going to be a whole lot of eye-opening session. So before we go to the reflection exercise today, I just want you to understand that Grief is a process that is continuous, definitely, but the acute grief stage, you can overcome it so that you're living a better life in honor of your loved one. And you don't want to be that person that after 9-10 years you're still wallowing in depression, you're still trying to come off and live a better life. So I guess that's why you're here, and I'm hopeful that this will help you overcome this stage faster, so you run and live a better life and honor your loved one with a better life here on earth. Okay? And don't give up on yourself, don't give up on your body. You will definitely overcome the stage. Now let's bring out our journals and do the reflection exercise. So this week we're going to write down what are the symptoms I'm currently experiencing that I have never experienced in my body before this whole grief started. Okay, write them down. You should have an idea. Probably that's why you're here. Maybe you've been having chronic ulcer, you've been having blisters on your lips, things like that continuously. Then maybe you're dehydrated and you're not drinking enough water, you're not remembering to eat healthy, you're not remembering to take your vitamins. Could be as a result of that. So take time out to write in your journal, what are the symptoms I'm experiencing right now? Then the second will be, what does my body want me to do now? It could be that your body wants you to rest, sleep longer hours, 8-9 hours. It could be that your body wants more water, more vitamins. It could be that you need to take a walk, do the dance. It could be it needs warm hug from family and friends. Just make sure you process it through your mind. Write it. So remember, your body is not broken and you're only responding to loss. Be patient with yourself and stay tuned for our next episode, which is going to be how you can move forward after loss. Okay, how to manage your grief so that you'll be able to give yourself a better identity, because trust me, after loss of a loved one, your identity kind of changes. So stay tuned to next episode. Bye.